All right. Oh, my lawn. I feel so good to rub my eyes. This is why I never get LASIK. Because if you ever get LASIK surgery, you can't ever do this. It ain't worth it to me. I feel like an ass sandwich. Hi, welcome to my tiny little tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. It's 11:11, man. It's freaking woo! And I thought for sure Sass was going to cross over earlier, a couple hours ago. I'm kind of I don't know. I guess people use the terms like death Abdullah. I help people, animals, people, try and make them as comfortable as possible. Make the occasion as joyful as possible. You know, because they get to cross over, man. They don't got to deal with this crap no more. Although, there is hope for ascension. I'll talk about that here in a couple minutes. So it's, it's real life, man. Real life happens all the time. They've been best friends for 18 years. It took me years to get over. I used to have a resentment to a little dog because of the relationship that she and Mom had. Yeah. See, we've always been closer to our pets, animals, as empathic beings that grew up in abusive and detrimental environments, and so that closeness we've gotten through animals. So it's hard when your friends leave. They've been friends for, I was thinking about it. She got her in like 2002, 2001. That's a long time. And I got hundreds of pictures of Sass. So I'm gonna make a book and print out pictures and have them around. Yes. So yeah, they have a closeness of bond that I aspire, I want to treat my mom as good as Mom treats Sass all the time. Yeah, it's so wonderful. It's so sweet. So she had, whenever their behavior, usually people are pretty consistent in their behavior. People usually act the same way, even when they bust loose and want to do something spontaneous. It's usually around the same time every year, kind of thing. But people are pretty predictable. But then they start getting a glitch in their program, and when they start start living more on the other side, than experiencing life here in this freaking alien ant farm, whatever you want to call it, hodgepodge. It's crazy, man. The world's getting crazy. The headlines in the news, just crazy. Just people are just taking people out. I know a lot of this stuff is accidents, and people don't know the physics of how fragile the human being, the structure really is. I cracked my cheekbone when I was in high school. I was like 16. Girl came over, wasn't wearing her seatbelt, riding in the back of a Nova. Freaking, she slid over, freaking cracked me and cracked my cheekbone. It's just easy to do, and people get so mad, and they have no emotional control. They don't got no self-control. So sometimes I can't. I really feel like I can't control my mouth. I know I can, but sometimes I'm just like, I say things I shouldn't a lot, or I have. I do it less now, but I still do it. And the fact that I do it just reminds me every day I'm a human being and just trying to be a better version of myself than I was yesterday. Yeah. So, episode, I call them episodes when Mom used to act different when we were growing up. Mom used to have episodes, and then, okay, here it comes, where we're going to end up. Because that's how we move from Morro Bay to, because she'd got, people getting under stress, and it puts them in frequencies, and they get, tuned into, and it puts you in a heightened state, and, people, you go off on a lot of energy, life force energy in heightened states, and I've got a lot of interesting stories anyway. So Sass had a little bit of an episode today. And she's okay, and she's resting comfortably now. She is still with us. It's just, it just poses questions. Well, they're always, I look at everything. And see, that's the thing is, like, I love my critters and my, I just love things so much. And then when they leave, it's so hard, and then life goes on. It still always kind of sucks, and you finally remember them down the road kind of thing. I had a dog, Arthur Boo. I had him for 17 years. He was like he taught me how to love things. He did, and how to really nurture and take care of stuff. And it was more so at the end of his life than when he was a puppy. And it's a wild story how I got him. Anyway, I talk about it in other videos. So many good stories. So Sass has been around, man. She's been with us a long time. She's been sitting on Mom's lap pretty regular, for probably the last 5 years. She's been blind for probably the last 7 years, 5 years, 6 years. So they're the best of friends, and it's what people should aspire to have on this incarnation, yet they're too busy chasing fucking reindeer games. It's weird. So the synchronicities are happening like crazy. I've been watching Northern Exposure. A dear friend sent me the box collection. It's right here, the complete series. I used to watch this when I was in high school, so it's bringing back a lot of memories. And it's like right at the time, when it started, like was what I watched. After Mom had her stroke and stuff like that. It's trippy. So, but last night there was an episode, and it was such a trip, because I was messaging with a buddy who's a hunter, and I know a handful of hunters. I lived in Nebraska. It's like people that were from around there ended up getting stationed there, and I don't know, and it's kind of my spirit, but now I won't shoot an animal, I don't think, unless I'm really hungry. Yeah, but I'd take my camera and I'd go along in the hunt and document it with my camera, is what I would do, and experience it that way. I'm very good shot. I'm very good at hitting targets with whatever. Because we grew up poor, man. It was all about making up your own games and making, we'd freaking throw freaking cards in a hat, or just playing pickle, or I don't know. People just were way more creative. Now it's just they're trying to create such a false reality. It's just like, dude, there's so much stuff better in the real world, and everybody's trying to live in a... I'm not even worried about the freaking face butts crap that they're trying to pull, because I've been in IT for a long time, and they put so much money into trying to push these ideas, and they always just go and fall flat. So stuff doesn't worry. People get so worried just to distract yourself, go sit on the lawn, take your shoes off, put your feet in the grass. Anyway, I don't want to get off point too much with the synchronicity stuff. So I was watching this episode last night, and I was messaging with my buddy, and he's a hunter. And during the episode, and it made me think about another buddy of mine that I used to know from the Air Force, who also hunts. And he did the 20-year deal, got out, gets a pension from out, has a nice wife. Now he works for a bank. Like Chase, they're like the biggest demon, so I'm just like, to see the progression of people, but he still hunts, right? And he just got a thing, a doe, whatever, calf. It was a calf, and I was like, yay for him, because he's excited, but he likes it, I was just happy for him, that's all. And so I was sharing with this guy, and the episode on Northern Exposure last night was an episode that was so poignant, and there was even a moment between Ed and Ruth Ann, and Ruth, is it Ruth or Ruth? Ruth Ann? Is it Ruth? Anyway, it's Ruth something. And they were having an exchange about how one of her son is a truck driver in Portland, and he's a poet for fun or something, and then her other son was like an investment banker, and Ed was like, oh, I guess not all stories can end out real happy, you know, because he was an investment banker, and with the heart space, so that you just have to, it was just really funny. Anyway, but also the episode last night, more important, it was called The Body in Question. That was just a little side note, but it was called The Body in Question, and the frozen body of a French soldier is found, along with the diary that claims that Napoleon came to Alaska with the deceased rather than fight the Battle of Waterloo. Joel gets a visit from the prophet Elijah, and as his disbelief is slowly undermined, he begins to worry that his stay in Sicily is changing him. Anyway, so the thing of it is it was like the whole town, the synchronicities in the show are like the second episode, everybody had a virus. Everybody in town got sick. It was pretty funny. And then, but this episode, it was like, see, history, you know, history didn't happen. All history is what somebody put in a book. And then they make us believe it and buy it and pay for it to create more bullshit in the present. So when today is history, we say, oh shit, what the hell we do again? You know? It's getting so weird. So no, history is not what we necessarily, but people are, they're tuning in, and they're lining up like a kaleidoscope. It's a trip to find out what their truths and what their history is. Yeah, I think about, I was like, I used to love this show because I love listening to Chris because he was so articulate. Chris on the radio, played by that Corbin guy. So I tracked him throughout his career because I watched him, and I think he was like even started out in Hollywood, you know, before, but anyway, I got some good news today because I listened to a video by Crystal Time. She's my favorite decoder. She's my favorite. She's really, and I like the way she talks too. She has an accent. She's from Canada. Makes me think of Letterkenny and stuff. I wonder if I should tell her, she'd probably like Letterkenny. They're good with the word whimsy. And she's better, she'd probably like it because of the culture. She's, you know, part of it more. But anyway, she did this talk earlier called, I put this side of my mouth this afternoon. And it's one of those that I got it good. These chipmunk people used to always, I was one of those people used to always, you don't touch other people without permission. And strangers used to grab my face, and I'm just like, what the fuck I don't even. And then they'd be mad, like, because I was a spoiled sport about it. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with the freaking human race? Slow to the stroll. But I'm hearing a lot of astrologers talk about merging. And I was like, you should go look at my description that I wrote, like, back in 2017. Come merge with Marge. Where spiritual meets science and psychology. I don't remember what I wrote. I should probably update it. It's probably a little stale. Anyway, Crystal Time did a new video earlier today called George Washington, D.C. City's Triangle was built for mortality. And she was talking about these points on the globe that line up with the stars, and like the triangle or this constellation in D.C. And I started thinking, she is led to find the most amazing stuff. And she said her videos take like 12 hours to make, too. See, I don't edit. I don't have that. I got too much other stuff to do. And I'm too much, honestly, I'm not like a perfectionist, but I don't like my stuff to look dank. So, and when it does, it's just ego deflation, I suppose. Because when I get frustrated when I can't get them to match, I don't got that kind of time, but she does, and I support her in all her efforts, and she's very gifted. And it got me to thinking. See, people say things, and then I build on the things that they say, and how there are points, because there's that, like, the pyramids line up with Orion's belt and stuff like that. And she's like said something in the very beginning about something when the stars start falling. Something about when the stars start falling. And I was like, oh my God. That's what they've done with our birth. Like our birth. Most everybody on the planet, it's pretty, unless you're like born in the mountains, you know, and people don't know about it, and you've never gone to the doctor's, which, I mean, there's a record of you somewhere with a number tied to you someplace, and there is a latitude and a longitude in which you were born. And I was like, I wonder if that's how they pick people, if they just designate them by the latitude and longitude of where they're born. People that are born, and then they're just like, give them a life. They're born on this date, this time. It line up with this planetary alignment in the sky. Give them everything. And we'll see if they live from their spirit or their ego. And mostly people live from their ego, and that's what they do, is they give people a chance, you know. They give people, you know, are you going to live more from service for all or service to self? And so they give all these people at these points that are born at it's a trip. I was just like, what? And they give them they make them stars, they make them sports stars, they make them high school stars, they make them, TV stars, you know, even the people in the background, you know, everybody has their significance. And what are you going to do with it? That's what this next chapter in life is. What are people doing with what they have? Are you making your community better, or are you just making your freaking filling up your bank account and buying, you know, fucking fifth wheelers and fucking big stupid trucks that people don't even know how to fucking drive, mind you? Their spatial awareness is lacking. It's hard to watch. So, anyway, I was thinking about, I'm like, and they give them a chance, you know, and most people sell out. They sell their souls, you know, and then you have that dude at the concert, you know. Everything's duality, you know. Somebody, I think it was on Right On Radio, made a really good point. It's like, why didn't anybody stand up and freaking rebuke Satan? You didn't see anybody doing that. Everyone's like, oh my God, we're in hell. And I would have been like, in the name of Jesus Christ, I rebuke you, Satan. You know, I do it every day. Everywhere I go, in the grocery store, walking down the street, I'm freaking, you know, transmuting fucking negative evil energy just because fucking I wear pants the same color as my hat, and freaking I'm loud, and I'm freaking whoa, and people are like, no, I want to live in my little bubble where my vote counts. And it's like, hello, wake up. Are you the product of siblings? Are your mom and dad brother and sister? I know that happens. I'm sure there's very nice people that live on this planet that's the occasion. So you get all kinds, man. I didn't even see there's people in the talking room. Hi, Aaron. Hi, Ahmad. Land of 10. Animals are the best. Yeah, I'm not. I you know what's cool is every now and again I have moments. I get little recognitions of people. They'll give me I'll get little tidbits like, Marge, you're still true to who you are. And one of them happened, I guess it's been a couple years, but she, a homie from back in like 95, 96, she's still in Sacktown, Sacramento. Whoop, whoop. And she's like, you know, Marge, you never been a liar. You've never been a liar. And I was talking about, I got to talk to my father figure, Mr. Iskey, today. And he's farmer. He's out in the fields, out in, you know, Nebraska harvesting now. Well, not now. It rained earlier, but this time of year. And he always puts things in perspective for me. You know, helps me keep stay on in a grounded plane, and I was telling him, like, yeah, it's been 20 years since I got my DUI on base. He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, 20 years. I'm like, can you fucking crazy, man? How time goes boom, man, and people just waste it, just doing the same thing over and over, and mostly that is just doing what they're told. And when I meant to tell this part of the story yesterday. I got sidetracked, and I was like, oh, I'll wrap it up tomorrow. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's why I started. So when I got my DUI, they're like, it happened at like the on base convenience store. They had a convenience store in my dorm. I was at one dorm, drove home, sat there for a little while, had the drunken hungries, went across base, and then when I was inside the convenience store, I had like fried rice and macaroni and cheese and something else, and I dropped something. And when I was like unsteady. So the people at the counter were SPs, and they saw me do that, could smell the alcohol in my breath. And me, like a dummy, they had me on. There was cameras outside because they're like, how'd you get here? And I'm like, I drove. I'm fat fucking honest, man. So it was like, you should have just walked. You just took off, just walk back to the other dorms that you just came from, But, and then I was like, no, all right, let's do this. Take me to the hospital. We got to get an accurate count. Let's draw blood. We want to make sure, whatever, because I did it. You caught me, and I'll deal with the consequences. And I was like a 0.22 or 2.4 or something like that. But see, that's back when I didn't care about other people. That's what ego does. That's what drunks do. I don't care about anybody else on the road. I just wanted my macaroni and cheese and fried rice. Fucking hate drunks, man, because I'm one of them. That's what people think. I look down, I talk, because I know what we are. Incapable, you just don't care about other human life and have no regard, just do what you want, and just, it's ego. And just like when you see people, their just spirit is gone. You see people in a blackout, they're just not even there. Thanks for saying so, Aaron. I'll keep being me. I have my days. So, but, and I think that's what kept me in the Air Force farce. I think that's what why Colonel Egbert let me stay in, is because I did that. Because I was like, and I did my extra duty. I had to work 12-hour shifts. But during the time we were going through exercises every month for like that whole year and a half, exercises is basically a big waste of resources where they have us playing war and simulating war exercises to prepare for war, to create and simulate scenarios that could potentially happen that we're living through now. But don't take my word for it, anyone. What do I know? I was just in the midst of it. That's the thing. People tell their stories about their accounts about how they've read these books and stuff like that. I'm like, that's cute. I flipped off George Bush on 9/11 out the 8-shop door, though. It cracks me up. Yeah, egos ruin everything. They about ruined my life. Almost ruined my. That's what got me back to drinking. Because I was 14 years sober before I went out, and I went out on a bottle of scotch. It is nice because I never did scotch, and come to find out we're Scottish. So I was like, well, if I'm going to blow my sobriety, I'm going to do it on something classy. And it was New Year's Eve and all that, whatever. It was oh so lame and poetic. So I did that, but I had been smoking weed for a while. That was always my favorite thing. Alcohol is just, because it stopped working. it stopped working. And then that's what happened is I had a moment of clarity. I was just like, Marge, you're going to end up in the creek that you got to go down in and get toilet water. And you're going to end up freaking falling down because older you get, man, it's weird. Gravity starts getting weird. Equilibrium. And like, I got a bad back in the lower part. And so my agility, I just stepped on Luna right before this talk. I was thinking about starting this, and sometimes she sits right there and she's black and it's dark in this room, and I heard, oh, I'm sorry. But I was reminded of what was I talking about? How it made me. He's like, I see you come a long way from where you started to where you are. I said, yeah, and then I digress. But I didn't really. Things would be different even if I just had one person, like a house homie who just didn't care about. I mean, I have my days where I like to go within. I'm Cancer rising, but I like to go out and do things too. So there's people that just really don't like to go out, and it's like, dude, I'll put a roof over your head. I'll feed your face. Just fold the laundry. Just do the shit I hate doing, That would be cool. And then I could fucking, I just like mentoring. I just want to teach people all this stuff that I freaking learned to become self-sufficient because nobody would ever help me. So I just was like, fuck it. I'll learn how to do it all by myself. And then it took me to right in the middle of the bullshit. Now people, just like that episode last night that I watched last night, just like that episode, people are waking up going, oh my God, the history that we've been told is just pages in a book. It's just tonight, And I've always thought that. I failed. Mr. Eden failed me in history because I'm like, you can't verify this stuff. You don't know that this, and so I had to go to summer school. Yeah. But, I mean, it's true. Can I have that summer back, Mr. Eaton? I fucking couldn't stand that guy. He was like Woody on the Toy Story. And he was that teacher. They're all the teachers that everybody loved. I was just like, why do they love you? You're fucking annoying. And you know that they have the same key phrases, and because they have the same lessons every year. They do the same. It's like the same jokes, and they're just trite. Ugh. Anyway, and then I've gotten emails like after 20 years from people I used to know, from like 93, 92, Marge, thanks for being you. Cause watching you just be you and being comfortable with you made it easier for me to be me. That stuff makes me feel so good. I love that stuff. Because like on the hard days, I'm just like, why? So the days I'm like, why do I live? Why didn't they just stay divorced and never, I could have never been like that. Then I was like, look at all the people that have made me feel so good in life, and think about, man, they were almost never been too, but I sure am glad that they been. Anyway, like Mom's just like, well, Mom's toe's getting better. Oh, see, that's the thing. You keep people in a vibrational frequency. You keep them. We like to laugh and stuff. We like to laugh a lot around here. Anyway, we really do. We have a lot of fun, don't we, Ma? Yes, we do. And so that actually aids in healing process. And I'm in the midst of healing too. I've been thinking about, I'm like, okay, Marge, because we've been in a safe space almost a year now. It's 11/11, man. It's just a trip. Time. So fast. And Mom's going to be 71 in a couple weeks. God willing, and the creek don't rise. And that toe is finally getting better, and for that I'm grateful. Oh my lawn. Oh, anyway, ho, for sure. That's what I'm listening to. See, I can't, I'm having such a hard time with music. This is like basically, I have this on shuffle, and it just goes over and over, and this is my solace. How the West was lost. This is how we did it. It's how we do it. You want to do it again? Do people want to do it again? I don't care how. See, that's the thing. Is like is in this time of isolation. It was my experience when I went in. My isolation started about 5 years ago. 5 years ago when I had moved to Oregon, 2016, July 14th, and my whole life went boop 180. You're going on a different path. Now I'm in Taos, New Mexico. It's a trip, man. Life's a trip. The paths that we get. But it's what we do with it, you know? I said, I got to talk when I was like, Mr. Risky, I said, my move to Oregon, that was all my ego. I said, F Omaha. I'm never going to have a life here. I've tried to have a life here. I gave it a go. It's not where my spirit wants to be. And then when I see, the thing of it is because I watch shows like Northern Exposure, stuff like that, it made me want to live in Alaska. It's like I always wanted to live around nature and stuff. I've never been a big city person. I visited them, and they're all the same to me. They're all the same vibration. The people are all the same. The blocks are all the same with the same stores and the same corners, and I'd rather hang out with trees. And so I was like, I wanted to, and I drove, when I was 15 and a half, we did a mad dash. Girl I used to know, she was my landlord in freaking Oregon, and we did a mad dash to Washington, and like driving through Oregon, it was just like the experience of it. I'm like, oh yeah, Oregon, I just want to live here, you know? And then so when Omaha didn't work out, and I was just like, okay, that's it, I'm going to Oregon. But that was all ego driven. It was all my ego, completely my ego. It's all my will. Was it the best for all? Go without a job and stuff like that? No, I'll get one when I get there. And then I couldn't. But then it was quite evident that my job was to be the best daughter I could be at that point. So things changed. You know? And then I got to share. I said, but you know what? I said, but our trip to get us to where we are now is much different. I didn't take the reins. That wasn't ego driven. That was just me going, God, every like some days it was every second of every day I would weird kid pray, because I would be so uncomfortable. I just be like, I know you're gonna take just I have conversations with God, and sometimes I cuss God out. I mock God, and freaking I'm just we go toe to toe, because I'm like, enough. I get it, you know. Anyway. So, mostly I'm respectful. No, I'm not 100%. So, but our trip was here. I said it was completely blind faith. It was completely me with all the dogs and mom in all my pockets. And stepping off a black abyss, the cliff, and then there's just a stone. Okay, you're just going to stay here and land here. And it's not going to be cool, and it's not going to be comfortable, and you're going to learn some shit, but then you're going to move on, and it'll be cool for a little bit. And that's what it was. Hey, Nate. And, you know, because that was me moving in my faith. That wasn't me running from my self-will, and that's what every individual, every spirit on this planet has the opportunity to learn now, is that now you can take a leap of faith, quit that job, you know, move, do that move. Everybody is shifting, everybody is moving. Everybody's getting there. There's no more time to waste. get to where you want to be. And if you're already there where you want to be, start to build your community. Go to the places you like going at the odd times. That's when you find the people that you're supposed to meet. That's why it's like, I don't like going at peak hours of times. I go at off hours. Plus, I'm not big on crowds. Not like there's a whole lot of crowds here anyway, but... Oh, and I figured out, I got so embarrassed. Oh my God. That's why I'm never going to be a cool person, because I freaking make so many just dumb mistakes. And I'm not a dumb person. My brain works so fast and I'm not being present. And so my sign that I made that said, I noticed that when I held it up, it says, when has the government ever said anything true? I forgot the H, so it looks like it says, when has the government ever said anything true? When I held my feet hurt today because I can't dance around in these shoes. These are shit shoes. Those are like for show. I got show shoes, and they're like a half size. They're not the right size, so I'll probably end up giving them to somebody and ordering another same pair of bigger size. Then I'll have a shoe twin somewhere around here. See, that's the thing, is I could send them to my niece. They'd fit my niece, but makes me so sad. I'm not allowed to know where they live. And it's my youngest one's birthday on the 25th. And I can't, because I've always been punished, see, because I don't act right. But I never get a list. Give me a list. Give me a list of all the things you don't want me to say. Give me the list of all the things you don't want me to talk about. And give me a list of all the things that are okay for me to say and that are okay for me to talk about. Nobody ever gives me a fucking list. And you know why? He had Mom a weekend. He had her that 3 days that I drove down. Hold on. This is what happened. This is what happens when I get upset. Technology gets freaking stupid. So I gotta calm down. Don't get too upset. But he had her for a weekend. And he was like, Marge, that was so hard. And the whole reason why... Like, he didn't talk to me for a year and a half, and he's like, I don't know how you're gonna act, is because I'll never forget it. I was parked where I was parked. I was looking at the laundromat in Oregon, and he said, you haven't worked in a year and a half. And we hadn't, or 2 years is what he said. We hadn't had running water. So he said that, and hanging out with Mom, sometimes it can be work. So, not that I mind, but it's not always easy. So I flashed on all this stuff, and I was like, there's like a few things you don't say to me, and that's one of them. So he flashed on, he's like, you haven't worked. And I was like, I flashed on all this, work that I tried to do, and I was already trying not to beat myself up and not thinking that I failed, and just staying in the mindset that it's all God's timing and divine, even though I can't get a job at a fucking gas station. It's so weird, but whatever. Anyway, he said you hadn't worked in 2 years, and he was like overwhelmed after 2 days. He was like, oh my gosh. Your loyalty to her is remarkable, but he's never done anything to try. And now I don't get to know where my nieces live. What do you do? So you get all these chances in life to practice and learn acceptance. Sometimes, like if I'm at the store, I'll let people keep going ahead of me. Yeah, I don't even care if they have a full basket, just because I am trying to practice being patient and tolerant. And I do it more so if I'm in a hurry. Because it's like, why are you in a hurry? Where you got to go? What do you got to do? hair is so... I love my shampoo, but it's like, it's getting long, Aaron. If you're, I don't know if you're still there, but it's getting long. Look at my racing stripe. I'm getting so gray. Look, there's so much static electricity. Anyway, it's getting long, but I don't got a lot of real estate, but it's, I don't know. I was sent this rad shampoo and it loves it, but it's like, it's, this is why I don't have hair. I wish I had friends that, I mean, cause I'm trying to teach myself to braid it, but it'd just be so much easier. It's just like, could somebody just braid my hair, please? But people look at me and they're like, God, she's such a fucking... People think I'm a heathen. Anyway, I've been running my mouth. It's... I always feel better. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do have pretty cool hair. That is one of my things that I like about myself the most, is that I have, and it's so thick. People are, and I'm cool with all this being gone, because I'm a hothead, man. And I wonder when I see other people with these. I saw a lady she was snarling at me. Just, she didn't like my sign. But she had a haircut like mine. And I was just like, I wonder if she looks like a hothead, Oh. Anyway, energies are crazy. Energies are potent. I hope people are finding their ways to cope. It's just stressful. Yeah, it was a stressful day. Sassy, she had one of these episodes. She's actually had like a couple of these, and I think what happens is she's just like it's just dress rehearsal, I suppose. I think Mom will go out with me and hang out with me. I said, Mom, will you go for drives with me? She doesn't, because Sass has been blind for a long time. She doesn't do well in the sunlight, so Mom... But I did take her outside today, and we walked around the grass a little bit. She peed. Just so she could ground a little bit. And work it out. Yeah. So, but I've been through this a few times. I used to, one time, before I moved from Omaha, there was a freaking rabbit that got hit. I won't break their neck or anything, but I'll stay. I'll stay with them. I'll stay with them. And there's this breathing pattern that animals, even humans, get. It's like a rhythm. It's a trip. It's like their spiritual cadence. It's a trip, man. I've been around a lot of people during these animals. I don't know. I love them so much, That's the best gift that you can give anything, is freaking just being with them all the way to the end. That's the thing, is like, my brother wanted me to get rid of 2 of my dogs, And I'm like, well, what do? Flip a coin? I rescued them all. I just like, dude, he don't believe in astrology, nothing like that. And it's just like, he don't get, it's just like, people, yeah, we got free will, but sometimes when we live in the will, some kind of will, it like causes pain and ailments and stuff like that, because it ain't natural. And me, like, not freaking loving a critter as long as I can, because we've had animals that like ran off and ran away, or we moved and they got away, and life is lost. That's why you just gotta love things while you got them, and try and be present, when you're with them. I do need time outs, though. It's my planetary alignments. I think about that. I wonder if me and our story, it could be in a book one day. Like, my trudge and his not. But it's weird, because I don't know, we came from the same place, and I don't know. I tried to explain to him one time. He's just like, I said, how you do anything for your family? How you love your daughters and your wife so much, and do anything to keep them out of harm's way and protect them, make sure they're take care of stuff like that. He's like, yeah. I said, I do the same thing. We just do it for different family members. He's always like, oh yeah. But evidently I'm a crazy lunatic. Oh, because he said you hadn't worked in 2 years, and I fucking screamed at him at the top of my lung. I didn't finish that story. I said, you are a fucking piece of shit. That's what I said to him. And he's one of those guys that he just hangs out and nobody talks to me that way kind of thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, I did. And so, anyway, what do? I speak my mind. If I'm going to get some sort of cancer or ailment in my body, it's not ever because I never said what wasn't on my mind. Wasn't because I didn't try to stand up for what I believe in. Yeah. And I get so many ideas about stuff, and most of them are like, Marge, don't do that. That's not a good idea. Marge, no, pass on that. I haven't even been feeling like going to the coffee shop lately. It's been a while. Because I won't go to that stupid elevation place anymore. And I just didn't feel like it. Which I'm glad I didn't go because, I think God's gifted Mom with a short memory because, like, she doesn't remember the episode that Sassy had earlier, which is like, yay for her. Which is good for her. It's good for her. She knows. We've been together a long. We've been a lot of places, man. That dog has been through a lot. And we love her very much. And just love him while we got him. So Mom and she both got to have some vanilla ice cream today for lunch. It's like, Mom, you just want to do vanilla ice cream for lunch? Yeah. It's nice and soothing for her stomach. How you doing now, Ma?
I'm doing good.
You doing good? You getting ready to lay down? See, the freaking stupid time. It's 5:20. But I do have these. Is the sun gone? Is it gone? It's gone. See, and we're having these freaking cloudless days, but they've been spraying this stuff in the sky so much that soon we should have storms. You need to go to the restroom?
Yeah.
Let me turn on the light.
Yes.
Here, hold on, Ma.
Oh, look how tall I am.
You're not as near as tall as you used to be. We're all kind of compact size. Here, let me plug this one in. How's that?
Oh, that's good. Don't fall.
Yeah, I gotta tell myself don't fall all the time. I'm freaking wonky. Anyway, I've been running my mouth long enough. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, hanging out, stopping by. Am I gonna do what for thanks taking? No, that's a Longmire line. Because somebody made a turducken burger. Turkey, duck, chicken burger on an episode in a Henry's bar. Someone was like, do you serve that turkey here? And he's like, because I think it's anyway. No. We might, no. I might do a soup or, no. I thought about it. Is that the delivery guy? I was expecting one more delivery. You okay, Ma? Yeah. Is it bright enough in there? No. Luna, I appreciate your... I woke up and got fired up. And Artie was barking, and he doesn't bark much, and I should always look when he barks. Luna, good girl. I just looked, though, but... So I look outside, and there's freaking idiots all over the place that freaking let their dogs just run free. It's so retarded. Some of the mentality of people, it's just like, there's coyotes everywhere and shit like that, and then you're going to let your... And it's stupid German shepherds, too. So I wake up, and the cats are gone. The little kittens are gone. Tango sleeps in here. And then, like, I open the door about 7, as soon as it starts coming up, and there's no cats around. Like, they were in... Well, because as soon as we went out, there was one of them still here, so I had to chase him off, and Tango had already got out, and it's just like... Just fucking ignorant people. Just ignorant. Just not classy. Just lack class. People who will never reach the vibrational frequency of what it's like to be a person with class. And to act in a way that isn't stupid like that. To let your fucking dogs... just run. The cats are just here. Like I go outside, they run to the porch. I'm like the cat lady. I'm totally the cat lady now. I'm gonna start. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna have to build a big old enclosure when we move to our forever home and take half of them with me. I'm not gonna take the ones that were here when we moved here, but like the kitten ones and stuff like that, like in Tango stuff, they're coming, but they'll be like outside in the garage kind of thing. Big space, enclosed. Too many things. People do weird stuff, man. People are always doing weird stuff to animals too. So, but anyway, yep, I think that's about all I got. Did I finish my story?